The Ododo constituency is noted for boxing, fishing, and historical centers like the James and Asher forts. Closely linked to these forts is the Salaga market, once an important slave trading center. Through underground tunnels, slaves were directed from here to the forts and onto ships for onward voyage to the New World. After the abolishment of the slave trade, Salaga, as it is known officially, or Straha, amongst the indigenes remained an important market, provided jobs for indigenes and became a backbone for the local economy. About 25 years ago though, the market was closed for reconstruction, but all commitments to bring it back to life are yet to materialize. Every 4 years, the market site becomes busy with political activities as politicians come to renew their promises to rebuild the market.
I've been following the Salaga market project story for the past 5 years. In today's edition of Community Watch, we are looking at how best this project could be completed. So in the next narration that follows, I'm going to take you through the journey since I started following this story 5 years ago. So please follow through attentively as we see how engagements between various leaders have been with regards to getting the Salaga market project completed to help in stimulating business within the Gamashi area, within the Ododo constituency.
It's Sunday, 4th December 2016, 3 days away from Ghana's presidential and parliamentary elections. It is a big day in Ghana's oldest constituency, as many residents, old and young, have gathered for a political rally and are eager for a long-awaited announcement. At the rally are key officials in the National Democratic Congress NDC government, including Chief of Staff Julius Deborah, Member of Parliament for the area and Minister for Youth and Sports Neelante Vanderpoy, and the Social Security and National Insurance Trust SNIT boss Ernest Thompson. The guest of honor is the Chief of Basic Division of the Ghana State, Nyai Bonte II. One after the other, these leaders take turns to address the gathering. At the heart of their address is to rebuild the Salaga market, to be completed in 8 months.
Beni abake aya elections eko bena aka fonshi ke eko we NDC government John Mahama government Salaga market wo ba je shi da na ba fonshi me ko me ka pay politics ameka wo male game ameka wo male wonya wo fenego ye bia me ni amehu amenyi ameka pay politics. Now, if New York at Mawo, 3 years in January, you may make any may. Can you make? Can you only New York? The father. No matter can you know that again. I quite a fire. In a minute, is the next Thompson. A contractor say it's a side that will be a member of Shanke. I'm making here, oya. One like a chin, I am doing it. The game is clear, she's going to get behind me, deep in the market. Chini Kanya logo. Benin Moko Abraham, I can a man on New York. Can me be fair? A Kanyami lot. No me, I'm a dog, I come a question. Can you name a York? Namba China Maya. She knew more get a handle of phone in Oname. na kan be America bo jomo e wo me Kenya me fe akehie America shegbe aka me ya jomo mi ni mo ka to me jomo mi e ka ka me ba wo America.
These party faithful are very optimistic the project will be completed by the NDC government on time.
Yes, me yake abanya gbena shishiti beni mi na ni shikamu fi abanya gbena ni me ni pa gbaye jala mi po ameba na gbe jala mi ni me ni atrasia ye meji ri fe ni ye to na me gbe je me ameba na gbe je iye hemu ke yeli iye vimi ye nwi ke sipo yin ake jala ne abagbena ni be na topo e se na kan be na banya ke gbena
biale bibli yo di biale abalo ojogba na ba sa wo le bayi wo bayi si tawa wo mo se awo na bole tawa e pepepe by the grace of God nu mo ejo wa ke si nu fere ba fe o
ya ke je la ka ma la ka nye ja ke atu onye fu
alaka wo
shop ni fashion designer jimi ole no ko wo gbagba no ni almost 23 years ni ole no da na aba politicians say ameba me wo washi so NDC be ba wo washi eshete APP ba wo washi eshete she now doma ni mama andukwale mi sole moji yo wa jole nu tumo gbagba ni mani mlo chane ni bi ne be fio ke nu tumo ni na aka ba chue eju ni gbagba ke wo in fact wo esen wo e bi ene ye jala na mi ni bia ni mlo chane jala na ke be na ma na agbe na in fact ke na gba baba o babi e ni meku boys ko akucho boys e me ko tumo dule na gba ba ma no no me mi so mi da presentation ke le dromo ke mo bona le lu tumo gba de ke tu no ga ba cho mi da le shake tu o.
The NDC lost the general elections to the opposition New Patriotic Party (NPP). The 8-month timeline has elapsed, but the project has not been completed. 2 years after the sword-cutting exercise for the reconstruction of the Straha market, I have come to meet the Member of Parliament for the area, Nilante Vandapoy, to ascertain reasons for which the project has been abandoned.
16 elections
with Senate. I've made contacts with the AMA, and they continue to tell me they are looking at it, that they want to look at the funding mechanism, they want to look at the whole drawing and plan and everything.
Was it that it wasn't looked at before cutting the sword at that time?
Well, the dynamics have changed. There's a new administration at Senate who maybe do not share the same vision of the previous administration or the board which approved it. There's a new management may also have their own reservations about it. For me in particular, it's an indictment on me because I was a deputy minister for local government and I was at the forefront when everything was done to initiate and start to work and virtually complete the Kumasi KJTR market. So when my own market, my own constituency market is at a standstill, I always feel indicted. But I also have a feeling that people will realize the importance and the priority of such social programs and try to support the people. A lot of our women. It will help a lot of our girls because the market, what we plan to do was to extend the market from that small number of people who used to sell. My grandmother used to sell there. We are multiplying to about 20 times the number, from about 700 something to over 4,000 something people who will be working, selling in the market. That will be a great opportunity for a lot of our young women who want to go into trading. And even the young men. Governance is a continuous thing. So once it's been initiated by a previous government, there are so many projects which were initiated by the previous government, and today the government is continuing. There are some that the government is even commissioning. So I think this one is important, and they must look at that. I don't want to play politics with social infrastructure, because at the end of it, when this market is complete, it is not only NDC people who will be selling in the market. The IMP people, the CP people, everybody will be selling in the market. It is not only NDC people who will go to the market and buy something. So social programs, social infrastructure like markets, hospitals, schools, roads, water, I don't want people to look at it with the political lenses. So if it is because I am an NDC MP and I initiated this, at least when it is done today, the government will also take credit. Yes, NDC MP initiated it, but the NPP government came and completed it. It's all of us. That's politics.
Are you convinced with the reason given for which they haven't started the project?
Well, one, they said that the funding mechanism is quite difficult for them. The board approved, and now they change a lot of things. Their priority is not that area. Two, they also said that
the priority is not that area.
Yeah, they don't have priority in the market.
I see.
The new board and the new management.
But this market is at the heart of the people.
It's also because, let me say this, they said the earlier plan was too flamboyant and too expensive. But we thought that we should do something that is enduring, that the future will come and see it and be happy and appreciate it.
While the project stalls, the traders have been compelled to sell on the street, exposed to unfavorable weather conditions. Many of the affected traders, we learn, lost their lives over the shock of losing their shops. In June 2020, the ruling New Patriotic Party government started works on the project under the Coastal Development Authority (CODA).
What difference will it make when it becomes complete?
No, this should boost economic activities around the taxi station around here, the market, the women selling all along the street. I think they will all have enough space here to come and do their businesses.
It is November 2020, with less than a month to yet another election. I'm back to Dododiodio with a question: will the Salaga market be completed before the elections? After the elections, or we are in for yet another show which does not get promises on the project fulfilled? First, I am on a mission to find the lady who had a strong faith during the December 2016 general election rally that the market was going to be completed within the initial 8-month period.
Right, so today I am here to meet up with these residents because as the situation turned out to be, the NDC lost and the project did not take off at all. So I want to track them here in Gamashi to hear their take, whether they are still optimistic that this project, which has been started by the NPP, would indeed be completed. And what happened? Because they were very hopeful that this project was going to be completed. Let's get to them as I track them down by asking people around whether they know them or otherwise. Hopefully, we get to meet people who know these two residents, so we get to meet them and then interact with them. Minganye, greetings. So I am looking for a lady and then a gentleman, and I want you to help me locate the person if you do know them. First is this gentleman. I don't know their name, sorry. You know this man? Okay, so I'm very fortunate that I've come to the right point. Is he around?
No, I don't think so.
He's not around?
No, he's not.
Okay, so but how about this woman?
Yeah, she's around.
You know her?
Yeah.
Okay, so how can I meet up with her?
It's one of my cousin's relatives, so if you see her, you see.
Oh, you mean the lady there, right there? Okay, wanga boy. One time mami koni akakeshi ole mamine. Oh, okay, so she's confirmed that indeed she knows this woman we are talking about. So I've just asked her to show us where this woman is. So a man here has granted us he's approved that we meet up with the person. Okay. So she's going to show us where this woman is. So we get to talk to her. So we are getting to the house where the woman is. She's unaware of this visit. So let's see her natural reaction to our approach and how we remind her of what she said about the project some time back. Come along. She okay, so they are very curious to know exactly what we are doing. Oh, she's here, so come along. Meaning she recalls and remembers me.
We have to stop filming because the lady fears she might be attacked if she grants an interview on a very politicized issue in a politically polarized constituency.
Okay, Nagbabe, I thought you were on your car today.
Few weeks back, There were clashes between supporters of the two parties here, which left many injured. Just before we left, though, she hesitantly shared a view with us.
Ni wone ko bi ane le chekumbo ni mami fe ahe ni kotu ejala so to jala se no wo po oto jala bo wo mi do asade ba na ka mi ka ka slama ke te ke moko wo government wo ye power ni moko ba anye efe no ko power aje moko mede ni moko meye ni moko mebe efe la on ke hia na ka no moko ba cha no.
At the Salaga Market project site, work is ongoing. The level of completion, though, appears quite uncertain. Eric Apel is the project manager.
So as at now, we are done with the substructure for all the buildings. The substructure is complete. You can see what is behind us now, which is the L block here. We can see that we moved from the first, so we are now on the second floor. So after that, we are looking at roof. And with the open stalls, we've even started with the beams at the roofing level. So as soon as possible, you come here, you realize that most sections are being roofed. And we want to first put it in the form of a skeleton structure first, roof, then we can start with the internal partitioning and then finishing.
What's the source of funding?
The source of funding is coming from the government. It's a Government of Ghana project through the Coastal Development Authority. Yes, so it is a purely government-funded project. Yes. And no, the contracts, I can't disclose it.
No, it should,
yes.
It should be public knowledge.
No.
Since it's coming from the government, it is the people's money. It is through the taxes that people give. So they should know that this is what this is the amount of money, our money being used for this project. You agree with me, right?
I agree with you. I agree with you perfectly.
So share with us. So share with us if you agree with me.
Why I can't give, construction, there are rooms for variations. You are aware of that. As I'm saying, these are old buildings that we are working on. So as and when we go, variations may come in. So should I come and tell you that it is 2,000 and by the end of the day, it becomes 3,000? Then
there should be basis for it. Even if there are variations, there should be justification, which when shared with the viewers, they would understand that, oh yes, initially it was this amount, but due to this and that, then it changed to this amount.
That is the more reason why I can't disclose any figure now, because there are variations. As and when they come, we discuss with our consultants, then we come into a conclusion to agree how much will be involved for a particular. As I was explaining to you, if you watch this drawing now, you see that there are no external works. So we are now initiating external work. Should we examine this area and per engineering knowledge, we realize that the drain should be extended from here extra 100 meters. It's not part of the contract. And that has to be taken care of by the technocrats. So that is why I can't come out and say it's 2,000, it's 3,000, no.
The uncertainty clouding the market project notwithstanding, Eric Apel brings me up to speed on progress made so far and assures it will be completed. It is 30th November 2020, barely a week to the 7th December general elections, and at the center of the campaigns is the Salaga market for the two major political parties. The new Patriotic Party candidate, Nilante Bannerman, says the project is 70% complete and it will be commissioned in record time to help the local economy.
That one was also scheduled to start last year, but the procurement processes didn't complete until March, when it was supposed to start and COVID set in. So it is not that we want to play on the people's minds. And like I said, as far as the Salaga market is concerned, it is our 75% complete. So it is not just starting the process to let the people feel that we are coming to this, but it's something that has been started and nearing completion.
The president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is on a campaign tour of the constituency and reinforces the stance of Nilante Bannerman, the NPP constituency candidate.
In 4 more years for Nana, get 4 more years, Nana, Bachuni. Nilante Banama. Mena meji meni akebuoma ken ni hamayano.
But the incumbent, the National Democratic Congress candidate, Nilante Vanderpoy, has a different plan altogether. He intends to demolish what the NPP has put up in order to construct a new one.
What they are doing is not the project we intended for the people. What they are doing, they are only building sheds. We are going to build a market that will take 4,200 people off the street, off the pavements, to the market. We're going to build a 3-tier market. It was going to look like a coal port. You know, we didn't want to destroy the whole old architecture. So we're keeping the old colonial architecture and we're going to build a market on it. 2, we're going to renovate the Salaga taxi rank and the trotro station, join it to the market. We're going to change location of the mosque there, take the mosque back so we can have a lot of space for the mosque and also for the car park, which was going to be also 3-tier. The ground floor for the commercial vehicles and the first floor and the second floor going to be for the people who patronize the market and also the market shop owners in the market. So that was also going to change the whole topography of the place. This I can say that the new NDC government under John Dramani Mahama will come back to this project.
Are you going to demolish what is being done now?
Oh, what is being done there is trash.
Are you going to demolish it?
Yes, we will demolish it and rebuild. Because my people...
That will be a loss to the state.
It won't be a loss to the state. Why will it be a loss to the state?
Money being spent on the project as of now.
People who are wasting money today will answer why they decided to abandon the whole project and put up a shed. 2, I will not sit here. When I was Deputy Minister for Local Government, I struggled to make sure that we completed Kotokora Market and also KJTA Market. So what is good for the people of Kumasi is also good for the people of Accra. We shall build a Salaga Market that should be at least synonymous with Kotokora Market or Kumasi KJTA Market. That is the assurance John Mahama gave the people, and we shall go by that. We are sure we shall do that under our big push, the infrastructure sector. No, because the Salaga market will generate a lot of revenue, so the market will pay for itself in the long term.
It is May 2021, 5 years after the last sword cutting, but the momentum with which work was ongoing prior to the December 2020 general elections appears to be waning down. Traders say work has halted for a while now.
Kajanisa na me babia me ba ko bia do ni sa mo ko me woni mbile e ka ka shika de wo ameme ka shika ba me baba wo won kwa me ehile keke wo tawo
MPP bia ba ka show amba sa jala ma wo chama wo 8 months ele 8 months na vote atan le la me wo jala fui shi bia na efetu mo na apostle fio ke ba mash no efetu na wo jala e bash ni omo ya nwen ona ka shi bia jo e ba chefio e ko meni hi shia na ba hi oni amamba yo ne shi wona me poteni ba ka meni ye kai ba paki be meni ye kai ba ka pie na he ni na kai.
I meet up with the Executive Director of the Coastal Development Authority, Jerry Ahmed Shaib, for some answers.
Be honest with you, it's only 48%. Yes, so that tells you that we have a lot of things we are supposed to do with that market. And it was originally taking about 400 people. We are opening up to take about 1,000 people, and there will be an open market area. So you would have these tomato sellers and onion sellers, or having a particular area to sell their wares. And then we also have a crèche. We have a bulk breaking area. We have lockable shops, which are about 49 in number. We have open stores, which are about 64 in number. We have a beef booth, which is about 100. We have also a fish booth, which is about 120. We have a pork booth, which is about 25. We have beef cold store, which is 1. We have fish cold store, which is 2. We have pork cold store, which is 1. We have a warehouse, which is 1. We have a garbage collection point. We have a charcoal shed. We have eating area or eating place. We have washrooms. We have a generator plant, and that is for the first floor. That is for the down floor. So the first floor talks about lockable shops, which is about 50. We have an open office, 3 open offices, and then we have an administration block. Yes, so this is what we are doing for the people of Kamashi in reference to the Salaga market.
We noticed that just before the election, work was steadily progressing. You go there and you see men on site, but it isn't so lately. I pass by and I don't see work ongoing as before. What is happening?
Well, I'm just a very honest person. I mean, the current dispensation of contracts, you would not normally have mobilization. So contractors that have the capacity are made to go into such projects. This contractor has done well. The name of the contractor is Grandoff. They haven't done badly. The only thing is that they've also raised certificates, and I'm sure they are expecting payments. By God's grace, I'm sure by next week they will get some payments. But they are even still there. I mean, you won't see the numbers. Perhaps at the time you go there, they had just done some casting, and then what it means is that they would have to wait for about 21 days or more to get it very solidified. So that could be.
I like it that you said that could be, and also perhaps, yes, and not out of certainty.
No. But I'm sure of their activities. We have men who visit sites almost every time, so I get my reports. So I'm sure that apart from the fact that there could be an issue of funds just because they are delayed, there's delay in payments, I am sure that there are still people there working.
You mentioned an issue of funding. When would the funds be released so the work progresses?
It's Ministry of Finance. I mean, as much as possible, Coastal Development Authority is in partnership with Ministry of Finance. And when certificates come in, we try to send them to the right or appropriate quarters for them to be paid. We are very well aware that some funds are dropping in for such purposes, for certificates that have been sent in. So we're only praying to God that it won't just be by word of mouth, but action.
When would the project be commissioned?
It's still prayer. I mean, just the project is a 1-year project. There is the room for extension, but we do not hope to do that. Our prayer is still that, God willing, this year, by December 20-something,
2021?
Yes, it's our prayer, and it's not out of remit at all.
And just so we make it clear, the 1-year period would elapse within this period because the project started somewhere in June.
Yes, that is what it has to be. But we also, like I indicated, that we've had few issues. Listen, it was even difficult to even start the project. We had to go and see all manner of people respectfully to have libation poured, to slaughter this, to do that, you know. And all of this delayed the process. There are projects that I can also assure you that people have even gone to court to file processes against us, including an injunctive order and all of that. So all of these are processes that we go through before we get to wherever we get to. So our prayer is that funds should be released. We are still sure that they have the capacity to proceed without getting so much. And so we've only called on the contractors, pleading with them that, listen, this is key. Our market women are waiting to just get into the new market, and you can imagine the excitement. Yeah, so we're only praying to God that everything should go well. And don't forget, COVID was a major problem as well. I mean, when they started, that was just around the time they started, they were all asked to we were all asked to do the lockdown. We were all asked to do some quarantining, and therefore we couldn't proceed to do anything, including contractors. So yes, that also affected them largely. Yes, and as we speak, there are issues of price changes and increments, but fortunately for us, these are issues that we've dealt with, and we're only hoping and praying to God that, yes, by December, we should be able to say that, we are done.
As the assurances from politicians continue, those the project is meant to benefit are anguishing about whether or not a day will ever come for them to occupy a more dignifying space to trade, a new market space ready to host and turn their lives around for good, like it was many years ago. Regardless, the political party in power
won kpafa wakata anyu won kpafa na ba fia ha wo no ya mi ko no wo fe wo na wo da ma wo tole mo pe ne
Community Watch is closely monitoring and will keep you updated. Gabriel, New Bodaya to Pra Atunam Togba Shonkwa Sonu, Metro TV.